Gambia mbokki Sénégambia Smiling Coast of West Africa yéen businessman yi ana ngeen am na ay bitik yu yaatu pour yéen bépp business boo xam ne bëgg nga koo def rek boo ñëwee ci sama bitik bii daf koy mën a def bitik yi xool ko dafa yaatu xoolal ma bitik bi ni mu toll bitik bi ci biir bépp business boo bëgg a def rek mun nga ko cee def bitik bi moo ngi fii ci Gambia bitik bi bu fekkente ni yow mi nga xam ne da nga bëgg a xam place bi fan la nekk boo jugee Tabokoto di dem Abuko ci buntu Abuko rek la nekk bala ngaa dugg ci biir Abuko da ngay gis bitik bi mu féete la ci sa left hand bu fekkente ni yaa ngi biir Abuko di dem Tabokoto bala ngay génn Abuko rek xoolal ci sa right hand di nga gis bitik yaa ngi noonu ci kaw tali bitik yi ci kaw tali bi la nekk suñu bitik yi yow mi nga xam ne da nga bëgg business bu mag a mag ñëwal ñu jox la bitik bu mag a mag bu fekkente ni da nga bëgg business bu yam ñëwal tamit ñu xaaf ko ci digg bi jox la benn side ci ubbi sa forum mun nga ci def business bu mag a mag bépp bagage boo xamante ni yaa ngi koy indi ci réewu Gambia yow mun nga ñëw jël bitik bi di ko ci jaay bitik bi fi mu nekk dafa placé ci kaw highway bu mag bi la nekk bitik bi fi mu nekk dafa am space boo xamante ni da ngay am pour park say moto business boo ko bëggee def da nga koy defee fu yaatu business boo ko bëggee def da nga koy defee fu wóor te suñu bitik yi fii ñu ko def dafa wóor ndax ci kaw tali bi laaj for more information ci 222 ñëwal nga fekk ñu fii ci public market ci Serekunda suñu office bi fii la nekk bitik yi ci kaw tali bi la nekk highway bu mag bi xoolal ma bitik bi yow bitik bii lépp loo bëgg a business ñëwal yow mi nga xam ne da nga bëgg a ubbi forum bu mag ñëwal ñu jox la bitik bu mag bitik bii loo bëgg a wane loo bëgg a jaay te bëgg nit ñi gis ko ñëwal ma jox la bitik bi nga jaay ko ci waay ñëwal ci bitik bi.
Hello, good evening from our studio along the OIC Road in Kanifing. This is Star TV News with me, Momodo Bailabari. Out of stories tonight. Yona holds end-of-year staff retreat and award ceremony 2025. Masjid Nur graduates 10 Quranic students at 17th commencement ceremony. DILEG arrests multiple suspects in nationwide drug operations. Nyofele FC crowned champions after silencing host Bonsa United in Minister Park League final on the international front. Libya healthcare cancer patients suffer from shortage of medicine. Cyprus steps into EU presidency amid Ukraine war and Middle East turmoil. These and many more stories coming ahead. And now to the news in detail, and this is Star TV News. Many thanks for joining us. Yona Group, a leading corporate institution, has held its 2025 end-of-year staff retreat and award ceremony, one of the most significant events on the organization's annual calendar, bringing together management and staff to reflect, reconnect, and recognize excellence. Lamin Ba was there, and he files in this report.
The event provided a platform to acknowledge outstanding personalities across the Yona ecosystem, which comprises 6 companies, for their exceptional performance, dedication, and commitment over the year. It also served to reinforce the institution's shared vision and core values. Over $1 million were distributed to awardees across various categories, including 3 people who will be given the opportunity to visit the holy city of Mecca for Hajj. In his welcoming remarks, Mr. Saro Dabo of Yona Group described the occasion as a defining moment for the institution. He noted that the day was not only about celebration, but also about reflection, accountability, and renewed purpose. According to him, the retreat offers staff an opportunity to assess achievements, learn from challenges, and strengthen teamwork as Yona positions itself for greater impact in the coming year.
It's a special occasion, an opportunity to pause reflect and celebrate the incredible journey we have shared together throughout the year. Despite the challenges we faced, you, the staff, once again demonstrated resilience, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to excellence.
Mr. Mamadou Barrow, speaking on behalf of the Chief Executive Officer, Sirifo Toure, said the event reflects the spirit of teamwork and institution's commitment to excellence.
Our presence here today is not just a coincidence. I think it is a very powerful reminder that our future is built on people that are present here. So today, as we reflected, we celebrated, and most importantly, we affirmed our shared purpose. These achievements today is as a result of a powerful story based on resilience, our innovation, teamwork, and our commitment to excellence.
Speaking on staff performance, Mr. Boubacar Diallo, a member of Yona Group, commended employees, particularly those at the Yona Forex Bureau, for demonstrating exceptional professionalism and delivering strong results. He highlighted their contribution to the institution's growth and reputation, describing their performance as a reflection of discipline and strategic focus. Mr. Mohamed Bojang, board chairman of Yona Group, reflected on the institution's journey from humble beginnings to employing about 600 people. He also spoke about the company's anticipated takeover of the telecommunication firm Gamcell, a revelation that drew wide applause from the audience.
The elephant in the room, I think this is what Mr. Fati was referencing, that why sell our communication subsidiary and our ongoing negotiations with the government for Gamcell's infrastructure modernization project. So,
among the speakers was Dr. Suwane, who reflected on the broader social impact of Yona's work. He noted that before the establishment of Yona Islamic Microfinance, opportunities for individuals who studied Arabic were limited. However, he said Yona has changed that narrative by creating viable employment pathways and empowering professionals to contribute meaningfully to national development. The managing director of Yona Islamic Microfinance, Mr. Yankuba Mambure, emphasized the importance of ownership and responsibility within the institution. He urged staff to see themselves not merely as employees, but as stakeholders whose actions directly shape Yona's future. He stressed that integrity, accountability, and collective responsibility remain central to the organization's success.
Ownership and responsibility. Yona belongs to us. Anything that belongs to you, we take care of it. It's very, very important. It is our company because this is where we earn our living. So it belongs to us. The processes, the equipment, the technology, the strategies, whatever, they are ours. If we do well, the end result is ours. If we do bad, if we fail, it's our result. So we should take ownership to the extent that if you see somebody doing something against the policy, you must address it. If you cannot resolve it, you should escalate it.
Also addressing the gathering was Mr. Ibu El Bitey, Managing Director of Yona Islamic Insurance, who described the institution's growth as remarkable. He revealed that in its first year, the company achieved 70% of its target, and in the current year, it has surpassed its target, an achievement he described as a major milestone in the highly competitive insurance industry. The ceremony concluded with a presentation of awards to deserving staff members, celebrating excellence, innovation, and loyalty. The retreat and award ceremony stood as a testament to its people-centered approach and its commitment to building strong institutions driven by motivated and recognized professionals. Lamin Ba, Star TV News.
The Drug Law Enforcement Agency of the Gambia has arrested several individuals across the country in a series of anti-narcotics operations targeting the possession and trafficking of suspected, prohibited, and controlled drugs. More in this report. Among those apprehended is 55-year-old Tijan Jai, a resident of Bansang, who was intercepted at Kalaji checkpoint on 31st December 2025 around 3:30 in the afternoon. He was found with 13 bundles of suspected cannabis sativa wrapped in a cement paper. 8 bundles were strapped to his upper body while 5 were hidden inside a pillow. On the 29th December 2025 at 11:07 in the morning, 36-year-old Lamin B. Sawane of Brikama Dasilami was arrested with 1 bundle, 5 parcels and 41 wraps suspected cannabis sativa. The drugs were concealed in cement and white paper and placed inside a multicolored bag. In another operation, 56-year-old Serenba of Bara was arrested at Mayamba checkpoint on the 31st December 2025 at 10:40 in the evening. He was found with 1 bundle and additional quantities of suspected cannabis sativa hidden in cement paper and a multicolored bag. On the 1st January 2026 at 2:32 in the afternoon, 30-year-old Jeuru Jiba of Gunjur was arrested with 15 parcels and 4 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa along with 10 pills of ecstasy. The items were concealed in a white paper and stored in a multicolored nylon bag. At Senegambia's 50-50 nightclub, 32-year-old Mohammed Toure of Ladrikunda, German, was arrested on the 31st December 2025 at 10:48 in the evening. He was found with 18 small bags of suspected cannabis rudalis, also known as skunk, and 9 pills of crystal molly hidden in a transparent plastic bag. In Tubakuta, 25-year-old Sulaiman Krubali was arrested on the 31st December 2025 at 8 in the evening for cultivating 1 cannabis sativa plant in his backyard. On the 30th December 2025 at 3:40 in the afternoon, 30-year-old Abdullah Njai of Brikama was arrested in Sifo with 10 pieces of cannabis rudalis wrapped in a foil and stored in a transparent nylon bag. Later that evening at 8:55, 27-year-old Mohammed Bayo of Brikama Kabafita was arrested with 23 pieces of cannabis rudalis concealed in 2 separate plastic bags. On the 29th December 2025 at 11:34 in the morning, 42-year-old Libas Wan of Tanje was arrested with 18 wraps of suspected kush hidden in white paper. The youngest among the suspects is 19-year-old Yoro Suso of Jareng, who was arrested on the 27th December 2025 at 6:30 in the evening with 53 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa concealed in white paper and stored in black and red bags. All suspects are currently in custody while investigations into their respective cases continue. The DILEC has reaffirmed its commitment to combating drug trafficking and protecting public health and safety across the country. For Star TV News, I am Bailo Barre. Masjid Nur over the weekend held its 17th graduation ceremony, celebrating 10 students who successfully completed the memorization of the Holy Quran. The event, marked by spiritual reflection and community pride, brought together families, ustas, and religious leaders in a vibrant show of support and reverence. Over 200 students have completed the memorization since the founding of the school. More in this report by Omar Job.
This ceremony featured Quran recitations and poetry performances by children, adding a heartfelt and youthful spirit to the occasion. Since its inception, the madrasa graduated over 200 students, with 2 batches completed their Quranic studies between February and December. Principal Ahmed Latif Toure expressed profound gratitude and joy at the milestone.
sant yàlla bu baax dafa nekk bis boo xam ne bis mbégte la parce que soo liggéeyee ba liggéey bi mot.
I thank Allah today because it is a day of happiness. When you work and it reaches its climax, you have to deliver and call people to show them what you have done. I'm happy that all those who came were pleased with what they saw.
Toure also addressed shifting perception around Islamic education, noting a growing appreciation for its value.
ñi bëri dañ foog ne ni sa doom soo ko yóbbee Arabic school su jàngee.
Before, people had misconceptions about Arabic schools, but now they know its importance because this is the only way that can help you in dunya and hereafter.
Among the graduates was Bantao Tunkara, who shared his emotional journey and gratitude.
dama kontaan parce que
I am so happy today because it is a big day for me. It has not been an easy journey for us. Memorizing the Quran is not easy. You face a lot of challenges, but dedication lets us here today. I am so grateful.
The event not only celebrated academic and spiritual achievement, but also reinforced the community's commitment to nurturing future generations through Islamic education. For Star TV, this is Omar Job.
To football now, in a stunning display of tactical discipline and early attacking flair, Nyofele FC emerged victorious in the grand finale of the Bakari Y. Baji-sponsored Youth League, defeating home side Bonsa United 2-0 at the Bonsa football field in Commonwealth West Coast region. Omar Job was there and he files in this report.
The much anticipated final, played before a packed crowd of passionate supporters, was graced by the President of Youth and Sport Minister Honorable Bakari Waibaji, who ceremonially took the kickoff and stayed to witness the full 90 minutes of grassroots football brilliance. Nyonfele FC wasted no time, asserting dominance, capitalizing on defensive lapses to net 2 quick goals in the opponent half. Their early aggression and clinical finishing stunned the home crowd and left Bonsa United scrambling to recover. Despite a spirited second half resurgence from the host, Nyonfele's resolute backline held firm, denying every attempt and sealing a memorable away victory. This was the post-match reaction of both coaches.
Nyonfele United, because my players on the first half, it's why they capitalize on us and they win us at the first half. At the first maybe 15 minutes going into 20 minutes, they score 2 goals. They score only 2 goals. But because my goalkeeper and defense lines, they have the problems. Because misunderstanding of communication. And then they score only 2 goals.
You have come to the second half, you played a good game. What did you tell your players to do? They played a very good game in the second half.
Because I tell them, because the time is there on their side yet. If you score 2 goals, that means that's the end of the game. But I tell them, I encourage them, I do some changes to boost up, so that we can maybe equalize or have one goal. But not less, we will go as a loser.
Okay, this goes about tactics of football. Yeah, and we know for football, you need to communicate with your players, know how to set them, and want them to capitalize on the first chances that they've got. And I believe that they listen to my words. And with that, I know I have a powerful striker, and I believe any chance that you got, he does not lose then. And that's how we know him about this tournament. So we play our tactics in which we knew within ourselves, and all the players knew about that. They know how to approach opponent, especially to dominate their defensive area, and that's what we did, and we are able to capitalize on our chances, and we did score.
You played a fantastic game in the first half, but in the second half, your opponent were so strong, but you were down. What happened?
Football is all about chances and winning. If you win, you don't need to fight. We did our best during the first half, and we scored our goals. They need to force themselves to equalize. I don't need any pressure. I ask my players to relax. We capitalize on any encounter that we got, any opportunity we got, we scored. If we don't have, we sit down and relax, and we calm our game, and that's what we did, and we are able to calm the game down.
Speaking after the match, Honorable Bakari Waibaji commended the organizers for a well-coordinated tournament and lauded the players for their impressive performances.
Final, I must say, between Nyonfele, the village of Nyonfele, and the host village, which is Bonsa, and we also have it went 2-0 in favor of Nyonfele. But the most important for us is the manner in which the tournament was organized over the months in the rainy season, coming all the way to the final. Of course, I couldn't make it all along, but I'm here today to the final, and we've seen a display of skill and talent from the young people of the 2 teams, Bonsa and Nyonfele FC. And the fans also display discipline and all of that. And for me, that's the most important thing in sports, in football. When a game is played and it went successfully, we thank the organizers, we thank the players, and we congratulate Nyonfele FC. And of course, best of luck to Bonsa for the future.
He emphasized the ministry's continued support for grassroots football, describing it as the bedrock for nurturing future national talents.
Football is the way forward. I mean, when you reach at the elite level, you're almost there in terms of being professional or playing in divisional teams, and that's the professional level. But this is where all the people that come from, that play at the divisional level come from. So our support to them as a person at my individual level or at the ministry level is to ensure that there is so many activities going on. Young people are interested in football, they're interested in sports. We want to ensure that we support, and the government sees that as a way of identifying talent, a way of unifying communities, and a way of supporting the growth of football in the rural areas and in villages like this.
Minister Baji also urged organizers to sustain their efforts despite financial constraints, noting the vital role such tournaments played in youth development. He further cautioned young people against drug abuse and irregular migration, advocating instead for discipline and dedication through sports.
it up. Organizing football here is very difficult because we all know sports is not well supported here in terms of finance. So we will only have to congratulate every committee that is able to organize a tournament and conclude it successfully and give the prize money to the winners. So congratulations to the Bonsa Sports Committee for getting this far, but also to the teams that participate. Every day they are traveling from Nyofele, for instance, they will have to pay transport to come. Others come from other villages to come support and pay transport. That's even more than sometimes what they get at the end. But it's all passion, and we believe that's a passion that needs to be supported. So that's all we say. But the message also to the young people is two things. Always the case. Don't get into drugs. Stay away from drugs as much as possible, and don't try to embark on the illegal backway or the irregular migration, we call it, because those are two risky things that ends the career of young people, ends the lives of young people, and cause devastation in families. So we want our young people to stay safe all the time.
The final whistle was met with jubilation from the Nyomfele camp and display from the home fans as the visitors lifted the trophy and claimed the winner's cash prize. For Star TV, this is Omar Diop.
From that story by Omar Diop, we will now take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at news beyond our borders. Stay with us.
mbokki Gambia mbokki Sénégambia Smiling Coast of West Africa yéen businessman yi ana ngeen am na ay bitik yu yaatu pour yéen bépp business boo xam ne bëgg nga koo def rek boo ñëwee ci sama bitik bii daf koy mën a def bitik yi xool ko dafa yaatu xoolal ma bitik bi ni mu toll bitik bi ci biir bépp business boo bëgg a def rek mun nga ko cee def bitik bi moo ngi fii ci Gambia bitik bi bu fekkente ni yow mi nga xam ne da nga bëgg a xam place bi fan la nekk boo jugee Tabokoto di dem Abuko ci buntu Abuko rek la nekk bala ngaa dugg ci biir Abuko da ngay gis bitik bi mu féetale ci sa left hand bu fekkente ni yaa ngi biir Abuko di dem Tabokoto bala ngay génn Abuko rek xoolal ci sa right hand di nga gis bitik yaa ngi noonu ci kaw tali bitik yi ci kaw tali bi la nekk suñu bitik yi yow mi nga xam ne da nga bëgg business bu maga maga mag ñëwal ñu jox la bitik bu maga maga mag bu fekkente ni da nga bëgg business bu yam ñëwal tamit ñu xaaf ko ci digg bi jox la benn side ci ubbi sa forum mun nga ci def business bu maga mag bépp bagage boo xamante ni yaa ngi koy indi ci réewu Gambia yow mun nga ñëw jël bitik bi di ko ci jaay bitik bi fi mu nekk dafa place ci kaw highway bu mag bi la nekk bitik bi fi mu nekk dafa am space boo xamante ni da ngay am pour park say moto business boo ko bëggee def da nga koy defee fu yaatu business boo ko bëggee def da nga koy defee fu wóor te suñu bitik yi fii ñu ko def dafa wóor ndax ci kaw tali bi laaj for more information ci 3220292 ñëwal nga fekk ñu fii ci public market ci Serekunda suñu office bi fii la nekk bitik yi ci kaw tali bi la nekk highway bu mag bi xoolal ma bitik bi yow bitik bii lépp loo bëgg a business ñëwal yow mi nga xam ne da nga bëgg a ubbi forum bu mag ñëwal ñu jox la bitik bu mag bitik bii loo bëgg a wane loo bëgg a jaay te bëgg nit ñi gis ko ñëwal ma jox la bitik bii nga jaay ko ci waay ñëwal ci bitik bi.
Welcome back after that short break. If you are just tuning in, this is Star TV News. We are broadcasting from our studio along the OIC Road in Kanifing. And now to news outside the Gambia. More than 28,000 cancer patients are registered in Libya, while state-run health centers are facing a severe shortage of medication, worsening patient suffering and raising concerns about the country's healthcare system. Al Jazeera's Malik Trainer reports.
Every 3 weeks, Sabah comes to the Sabrata Clinic for chemotherapy. It's one of 5 clinics for cancer patients in the country. People from across the West come seeking treatment, but after more than a decade of conflict and political divisions in Libya, medicine and resources are scarce.
The problem is with the medicine. It's just not available. Sometimes I can't afford to buy it in the markets, and I have to skip a chemotherapy session.
Mohammed Jama needs chemotherapy every 2 weeks. He says he drives more than 150 kilometers to get here.
I have colon cancer and it has spread to my liver. The government doesn't provide enough medicine. I take 3 different types of medication for my chemotherapy and only one is available now.
Those who can afford it try to find medicine privately, but it's expensive.
My pension is less than $100 a month. If my medicine isn't provided here, it costs more than $2,000 a month. I've had to sell almost everything I have and borrow money from friends and family.
We are a rich country. The government can easily provide us with our medicine.
The Misrata Cancer Clinic is Libya's largest and best equipped. With 25,000 cancer patients registered in Libya, including more than 6,000 children, the health system has struggled to treat them. Many people blame the government. No one from the Tripoli administration wanted to comment. The Misrata Clinic has 350 beds, but more than 13,300 cancer patients, including children, are registered here.
Unfortunately, all public clinics face many challenges due to the political divisions. Unqualified people are put into senior positions in the ministries and are unable to make the necessary decisions to provide the clinics with the medication needed to treat the patients on a consistent basis.
Libya has Africa's largest reserves of crude oil and should be a prosperous country. People here hope its instability can be overcome, so future generations won't face the same hardships. Malik Traina, Al Jazeera, Misrata.
Cyprus has been an EU member since 2004 but remains divided since the 1974 conflict between Greek and Turkish Cypriots. The island is split by UN patrol buffer zone, including through the capital Nicosia. Despite its distance from Brussels, Cyprus holds strategic importance in the eastern Mediterranean. Regional instability, including the war in Gaza and tensions in Lebanon and Syria, has increased its security role. Cyprus has positioned itself as a hub from humanitarian aid, energy, cooperation, and regional security ties. It also faces challenges from the war in Ukraine, migration pressures, and strained EU-Turkey relations. As it takes on the EU presidency, Cyprus must navigate this crisis while managing divisions within the bloc. Al Jazeera's Sonia Galajo reports.
It's been a member of the European Union since 2004, yet Cyprus remains a country shaped by a division that began decades earlier. The south is governed by the internationally recognized Cypriot state. The north is controlled by Turkish Cypriots, backed by Ankara. After a conflict in 1974 that displaced more than 250,000 people, the majority Greek Cypriots. A small island in the eastern Mediterranean, Cyprus lies thousands of kilometres from the European Union's political centre, far from Brussels yet central to the EU's security interests in the eastern Mediterranean. A United Nations patrolled buffer zone cuts through the capital, separating north and south, the front line of a frozen conflict that still divides the island today. That unresolved conflict continues to shape Cyprus's role and overshadows its politics, but its location gives it leverage. The war in Gaza and instability in Lebanon and Syria has raised fears of a wider regional conflict. Cyprus has positioned itself as a hub for humanitarian operations and as a bridge between Europe and the Middle East on energy and regional security, and also with the United States under what's known as the 3+1 framework.
Much more can be achieved in the fields of counter-terrorism, cyber and energy security, always in support of regional stability.
For Cyprus, these partnerships are about influence as much as geography, but it's not the only challenge Cyprus will face during its presidency. The war in Ukraine presents another test. How the European Union sustains support for Kiev while deterring Russian aggression, despite internal divisions over cost and duration. There are also continuing pressures over immigration and cooperation with neighbouring states. Relations between the European Union and Turkey remain strained over Cyprus itself, but also over borders, energy resources and influence in the eastern Mediterranean. As a small country, Cyprus is closer to many of these crises than most of its European partners. And during its presidency, it will have to guide negotiations among the bloc's 27 states at a time where the European Union itself is under strain from within. A scenario all too familiar for this island. Sonia Gallego, Al Jazeera.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.
And that report from Sonia Galajo brings us to the end of this edition of today's news. But before we go, we look at the main points once again. UNA holds end-of-year staff retreat and award ceremony 2025. Masjid Nur graduates 10 Quranic students at 17th commencement ceremony. DILEG arrests multiple suspects in nationwide drug operations. Nyofele FC crowned champions after silencing host Bonsa United in Minister Park League final. On the international front, Libya healthcare cancer patients suffer from shortage of medicine. Cyprus steps into EU presidency amid Ukraine war and Middle East turmoil. Well, this is all we have time for in our today's edition of this news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our unbeatable programs. Until then, have a very good night.